Yes, so what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I am going to be reacting / showcasing you the boots in this brand new version 5 on the ISS 9697 patch. Now, it's completely typical because I showcased all of the boots in version 4, then got a message to say, look, version 5 has literally just dropped. So I downloaded it last night, and I thought I would take the opportunity to show you all of the contents in this amazing patch. So don't forget, of course, to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And yeah, let's get into retro heaven. So I've taken myself off screen again, just so we can give it a full flavour. Now, again, I mentioned this in the last video. That is basically yours truly. I mean, for a face mod, that is pretty incredible. And look at the kit detail as well. It is absolutely mental. But we're on to the boots anyway. Of course, it's going to be the classic Cope Mundials. They're in the first patch. We've got the World Cups, which look absolutely awesome as well. Just to show what they're like on feet. Again, they just look so clean. The mod is so good. We've got obviously the Adidas Predator, which was in the last mod. And again, you can see, from my eyes, they've actually improved it even more. It looks absolutely incredible. Now, here we go. This is a classic boot. Who remembers this? The Puma Kings. That one boot was red and one boot was yellow. That was like, I always think of like France 98 and Cameroon when I see this. It's absolutely incredible. And yeah, it just looks so good. We've got our first pair of Diadoras. Of course, Diadora was such a hallmark of the 90s, especially within the Italian league. And, you know, players like Gary Neville, Roy Keane wore Diadora. Very, very famous boot. Then we're going to go on to the White Predator. Now, again, this looks a little bit different to the previous mod. Again, a little bit more detail around it, but again, this was the white version of the black and red Predator that we just saw. And then we're back again to the original Predator, which was in the last mod. But again, look at the details on the studs. Absolutely incredible, and they look so good. And then, you know, for me, my favourite ever football boot. 1998, what a year for football boots. Adidas Predator Accelerator. Still to this day, for me, the best Predator that was ever made. Just an incredible iconic boot worn by David Beckham, Alessandro Del Piero, Zinedine Zidane. It was a very, very famous boot indeed. And then I mentioned this in the last video, the White Predator Accelerator reminded me of Giovanni Elber at Bayern Munich. That's what always got me with these boots. Surprised Beckham actually never wore these in his day, because it would have probably suited him. We're going back to another, this looks like a moulded version of the first Predator as well. So you've got, you know, firm ground and soft ground. That's pretty awesome. This Predator, I've got a feeling this was 95 with the tongue. Again, a beautiful boot and just looks so good. Now we're getting to some classics. Old Sports. I mean, you weren't a proper 90s goalkeeper unless you wore Old Sports. I mean, most keepers used to wear Old Sports. They're just, yeah, an absolute classic boot. And then, oh, another great Diadora boot. Again, classic looking. And yeah, I mean, I can't think who would have worn these back in the day. You might have to let me know in the comment section who wore these. But again, just a lovely classic boot. I've got a feeling we're going to see more classic boots within this particular mod. And yeah, I mean, again, that's a classic looking boot. That always reminds me of youth football. Had a few mates that had them. It was absolutely awesome. They're so nice. Just a standard black, standard retro. Hitting into some Reeboks now, which, you know, similar to the last mod, there were plenty of Reeboks and they look absolutely superb. Again, really, really well made, and the mod just makes it completely stand out. Then we've got some Reeboks here as well. Again, just a classic clean cut boot. And again, you know, for me, they're timeless, because I think they wouldn't look out of place in today's football. I still think they'd look really nice, but yeah, they don't make them like they used to. And then we've got, yeah, a Nike boot of some sort. I don't know what year that is from. I'm going to say probably 1996, 97. Or is it a bit too colourful for that time? I don't know. It's definitely a part of the Air range. Another pair of Reeboks, another classic pair of Reeboks. Similar to the last mod. Look really nice, really cool. And then yeah, another Reebok. I'm just doing each individual boot on screen, on the feet, so you can all see them. Again, they look absolutely superb and a classic boot. But this, look at these. Adidas Predator Accelerator, but in the red. Now, who remembers these? Because these were actually a thing back in the day. These were an actual thing, and they are superb. They are so good. And the fact that it's been remembered and in this mod, we're going back to Diodora again, another classic looking boot. Again, just very, very straightforward. Firm ground, just very, very nice. Got a plain black kangaroo one, which is, yeah, all black. I think I mentioned this in the last mod. It always used to remind me back in the early 2000s when players used to change their sponsorships. They then used to wear just a plain black boot of that particular range, whether you were going from Nike to Adidas or Adidas to Nike. Yeah, it was always the same thing. Another pair of Adidas ones here as well, which I don't think I've ever seen these before. Don't think I've ever seen them, but they look fairly retro given sort of how the heel shape is and the studs as well. What are these? Are these the toppers that we talked about before? Yeah, I mean, this is definitely early to mid-90s, something you'd expect. We've got some Joma boots here as well. Plain back, just completely in with the time. And again, some white Jomas, which again, it's just, they're not really anything special to look at, but they are just vintage and they look great. They do look great. And it's great that you can put these particular boots on players as well. Kappa, of course, Kappa was a legendary brand, probably more within the Italian game in the 90s. I always remember, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to wear Kappa boots at one point. Not this particular pair, but they were sort of a plain black pair that he used to wear. And obviously the Johan Cruyff ones, they were on the previous mod as well. Yeah, they look superb. They look so good. And look a bit like Nike Tiempos, like the 2.0s. Now we're going into Nike. Now these are the black Romarios. These are probably more fitting for the time. These are what I remember from 96, 97. Just a plain black Nike. Really, really simple. And then looks like they're sort of like a studded version as well. I prefer the studded version, actually. I think the colour gives it more of a clean look, especially with the white studs. Yeah, they look great. And then it's 1997. Again, these are boots that were a little bit before my time in terms of like seeing them in shops. But again, look how clean they are. They're so good. And look at the leather detail on this mod. That is just another level. And obviously they had different colourways. They obviously had the blue ones here. But again, absolutely superb and look so good. Now we're going in to some proper retro stuff here. Sorry, I keep going backwards and forwards. New Balance. Now, of course, New Balance are relatively good in today's world. Obviously, they had a bit of an absence, and now obviously players like Bukayo Saka wears New Balance. They sort of came back in, and I'll be honest, but you can't beat these. I mean, I don't think you'd see Bukayo Saka running down the wing in them. But yeah, we've got some classic black and white Reeboks again. Very fitting for the time. You have to let me know what your favourite boot is on here. Another Diodora boot. Again, slick, clean, simple, and so well modded again. Gotta say. Here we go. Here we go. High-techs. My mate Norm is going to have an absolute shit fit seeing these, honestly. Because he'll be watching this right now going, bloody hell, what a memory. High-tech. I mean, more early 90s. Roy Keane used to wear high-techs back in sort of like the 93, 94 season. That's what I remember of high-tech. And then obviously we've got the 94, Nike 94s again on the previous mod. Look really good, really clean, and yeah, just a superb boot. Red Adi. Now, I can't remember these. People who know me, let me know in the comment section if you remember these. There was a version of this boot, and for the life of me, I don't think I ever saw it. But it looks great. It looks really clean. Classic Nike Tiempos. Again, these are more from the early 2000s. But again, a real simple boot, real clean. And this was from about 2001, these boots. I actually had these boots. They were really, really nice. Zoom Airs, and they were kind of the start of the Total 90 range, really. Going into some more classic Reeboks now. Again, I think these were on the previous mod. But again, you can see the graphics of them has been updated even more, and they look great. It's a lot of Reebok and a lot of Diadora at the minute, which, yeah, they look just a simple black. I mean, I'm going on every single one because I want you to see every single one up close and personal, because I don't want people in the comment section going, oh, you didn't click on some of the boots, we wanted to see them. So that's why we're doing all of them. We've got the beautiful white Reeboks as well. I always think of Ryan Giggs when I see these, because he pretty much wore Reebok for his whole career. I haven't seen these before. I haven't seen these. They are a cross between like a Tiempo and a Mercurial, really. But again, probably around about the 90s, because obviously this game is based on that. Now we're getting into some Umbros, Speciales. Of course, they were another classic boot of the 90s. Again, all thrills, no spills, and absolutely superb. Lekowskov Sport, whatever they're called. I can't even say it. Leco Q, we'll just say, because I can't say that. But again, that's just simple, isn't it? That's more early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I'll keep that in. Yeah, another superb boot. Another Umbro pair as well. Just, again, clean, slick, and simple. Then we've got Kelmers. Now, someone might know this in the comment section. Kelmers. Who used to wear Kelmers? Like I said, I've got a few friends, especially that I used to just look at football boots with when I was younger. Did we ever see them? That's a question. And we've got another set of Kelmers here as well. And they look superb as well. Look really nice. Mitre. Here we go. Now this is where shit is getting real. Mitre boots. My God. Because of course Mitre were, you know, they still are an incredible, you know, football boot brand. Football brand, not so much a football boot brand, but they were a great football boot brand back in the day. And they look superb. What have we got here? Patrick. Oh my God. For a minute, I thought they were the Predators from like 2014. They kind of look like that, really. But yeah, classic boot. If you know, you know. And then we've got another set of colourful Umbros, I would say. Very colourful. Very nice. Reeboks again. Reeboks have been quite a central figure on this boot pack so far. Really nice. Lotto. This first Lotto boot we've seen, actually. I love the wraparound tongue. I love that. Oh, I love them. I really like them. They just look really cool. Really like them. Now we're into sort of like the R9s now. The Mercurial R9s, of course. These were on the previous mod as well. Slick, black, and very, very simple. And then obviously the other colourway was the blue and black. And of course the notorious 1998 World Cup ones, which have been remade several times over the years by Nike. But I don't think you can ever beat the kangaroo version. Look at these classic Pumas. They call these Puma Eusebios, but I don't think Eusebio wore yellow boots. They look great. More Pumas. These were on the previous mod as well. Again, a nice classic, slick Puma brand. And we're getting into Puma now a bit more. Puma's not something that we've seen so far, but these look great as well. Plain black, very, very simple. And what have we got here? These Puma? What are these? Yes, these are Puma. A white Puma King, of course. They were, well, they're sort of like silver, really. But yeah, they look great. Another great looking boot. What the hell are they again? What were they called? They are a vintage boot. Val Sports, that's it. Val Sport. We had some Val Sports earlier. They look great. Absolutely superb. Val Sport 1920. More Puma. Puma Mexico. They are almost like your traditional Puma King. Traditional Puma King. Slick, simple. Look at these as well, though. I've got to say, these are probably a bit more 2000s. These Puma Kings. They look a bit more of a sort of 2000 boot rather than These look great. Oh my god. Oh man. They look unbelievable. I used to love Puma Kings, by the way. Don't make them like them anymore, do they? And obviously, of course, the traditional black Puma King. Like I said in my last video, when I did the V4 showcasing of the boots, you didn't get boots, you know, you don't get boots nowadays like you got back then. And it is the truth. Another Puma King, but that's the studded version. Can't remember if there was ever different names, but again, yeah, it was SPA King. That's what they were known as. Another Diodora boot. They call this a yellow of some sort. But yeah, it looks really nice. Nice slick boot. Back to Diodora again. Diodora and Reebok, and probably Adidas have been really sort of so many of them boots on here. I think the previous V4 version had a lot of the modern Mercurial Vapors, the Total 90s, and I think that's now obviously a bit different, and I think they wanted to go back to a bit more of a, you know, a vintage route. But yeah, a lovely boot again. So many Diodora boots on here. I mean, if you're a Diodora fan, you're in for a treat. Another nice blue pair there. And yeah, we're sort of getting into the last knock-ins now of the boots. Nice white pair here of Diodoras. So well made, I've got to say. Yet again, it pays so much tribute to how good these mods are. Again, another pair of Reeboks. Reebok used to do so many boots back in the 90s. Another clean pair of Diodoras. But I like what they've done on this mod. I will say they have sort of taken it back to traditional boots back then, because in the previous mod you could get things like Total 90s from, you know, 2002, which were obviously later. What the hell are these? Cronus. I've never heard of these before. But yeah, these are superb again, and you've got to pay fantastic tribute. Mizuno, of course, Rivaldo. I said that in the last video. You've got to pay tribute to these wonderful people that mod this and give people like me the opportunity to not only make content but enjoy it. Another pair of Mizuno boots, and these are Mitre then. Yeah, clean, slick. We've got some Patrick boots as well. Again, they look great though. Like, if you got them, you wouldn't complain, would you? Fila Tornado as well. I always think of Juventus players when I see Fila boots in the 90s. Another pair of more colourful Fila boots, but not anything too extravagant. It never was back then. Never was. Obviously Kelmer, which, yeah, they're again a brand that have been sort of not too heavily featured, but they're there. We've got some Lotto Stadias. Not as many Lotto boots this time. There were quite a few Lotto boots last time. But there's a few in a row here. But they look great. They look superb. I mean, I've got to pick a set of football boots for my own personal player. So maybe let me know in the comment section what boots you think my player should wear. Should I go for an extravagant pair or go for a proper classic pair? Umbro Speciales, of course, Alan Shearer. Michael Owen. Players like that wore them. Asics, very much a classic boot as well. And we've got 4 Reeboks to finish with. Again, Reebok were pretty much, you know, heavily featured on these mods, to be fair. And then, yeah, again, slick pair of Reeboks again. And we'll finish with 2 more pairs of, I think the last pair is Reebok, I think. They're lovely. I like them. And then, Pantafola Dior. I mean, actually, these are... Oh, no, they're not. It's because it's rewritten in it. That is actually another Reebok boot. But anyway, there you have it. There you have it. I'm back on screen now. Let me know in the comment section what was your favourite pair of boots on this particular sort of showcasing and reacting to. I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, let me know what you thought in the comment section. Now, this is V5. I just want to let you know that a new Master League will be starting. So... disregard what you saw in the previous videos, because I'm going to be starting a brand new Master League on the V5 version, and we'll be getting into that. I'm very, very excited because this new version is about probably a good 40 gig bigger. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to be getting that sorted very soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.